welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much for joining me. It is very nice to see you. I can't see you, but you can see me, and I'm going to be here for the next hour. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you can start them with question in capital letters, then it will make it easier for me to pick them out. And we can talk about cruises, destinations, my career, my cat Hudson, my dog Rolo. It is Halloween if you're watching this actually on the day. So happy Halloween, everybody. And hello to everyone who is watching this on the catch-up. I know the majority of you don't watch these live. Yes. Okay, loads of people in the chat already. Happy Halloween. Yes, happy Halloween from Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. Question. I will be on the Norwegian Aqua in September next year. It will be one of the first voyages. Should I have any concerns on a new ship? I don't think so. I think you just have to be a little bit more patient when you're going on a new ship, just because the crew are working out how this ship works. With Aqua, I don't think it should be so much of a problem. It's not so different that they've never done it before. But even still, it takes a while for the crew to work out, oh, everyone in this restaurant really likes to drink Coke Zero. Let's leave some Coke Zero here instead of having to go to the bar. That kind of thing. So just be a little bit more patient, but it's exciting. The crew will all be excited. I think that's always really nice. And it'll be fantastic. It'll be good. Do Hudson or Rolo celebrate Halloween at all? Costumes or treats? In my house this week, we have been completely focused on Captain Hudson version 5 this week. Halloween has just not even crossed my mind. I've sent out all the Christmas cards this week. We are halfway sold on version 5 of Captain Hudson, and that has been a lot, so I've not really had any time to think of anything else. I'm also missing my banner. Where is my banner? Here it is. So that just says on it about Captain Hudson version 5. Again, all the profits going to charity. We've raised £104,000 so far, so would like to keep that going. If that is something you'd be interested in being part of, that would be very cool. And thank you to Marella, that way or that way, for sponsoring this live stream. They have an interesting discount, which is not the type I've seen before, which works for one adult cruising with children, which is quite interesting. I think that's often ignored, but deserving of a discount. So link is in the description. Loads of comments saying that you've ordered version 5. So excited about it. Yeah, version 5 is a cutie pie. I have him here. Don't know if you can see right there, version 5, and another version 5, and another version 5 there. Yes. Thomas says, question before your questions, please. Yes, if you can do that. As you can see, I instantly was drawn to this question from Thomas because it is perfect. If you can keep the questions short too, that just increases the chance that I'll be able to read them and answer them. I have just got off of a podcast just before this live stream with a friend of mine, Kabir, who apparently is my husband. I did not know that I got married. I was not invited to the wedding, but if you Google it, it comes up. So I have a husband. Very interesting. He used to be a cruise director on Royal Caribbean, and we were talking about, my recent MSC cruise and all kinds of stuff. So Travel with Kabir is his channel. I'll let you know when that one is out. I also was on the Sweet Natured podcast this week. Hello, Lindsay and Mark. So nice to talk to you always. And that interview is live on their channel. So I've just set up your evening. I've got loads of stuff if you're not doing anything Halloweeny. All Norwegian Cruise Line in the chat. It is so funny to me. I've cruised with Norwegian more than any other cruise line. I started when I was 11. And I went on a Norwegian cruise when I was 13, when I was 15, and I just loved it. And the thought of talking to me, when I was 13 and saying, at some point you're going to be live on the internet. For a start, I would have said no, no way. And a Norwegian cruise line's going to watch. That would just blow my mind. NCO in the chat. Yes. Nice to see you. Love to all the Captain Hudsons. Yes, I think this one, version 5, is particularly cute. I think we've only had them for sale for 2 days, and we've sold over half. So please don't miss out. Does Hudson get confused or a complex from seeing all the plushies around the house? He doesn't seem bothered at all. Rolo the dog, I see him wanting to open his mouth, and I'm like, do not eat Captain Hudson. He ate my shoe this week. And I'm not just saying like he bit my shoe, he ate a massive chunk of my shoe. So now I've learned a lesson. I think having a dog is also about training yourself, right? And I've learned that I shouldn't leave that shoe on the floor. He's never shown any interest in shoes before, but he's a puppy still. So I won't be doing that again. I won't be doing that again. Oh, Norwegian Cruise Line, glad to listen in on your cruise chat. Thank you very much. I found recently, I can't remember which Norwegian cruise it was, but they used to make little videos sort of the cruise, and it would be them sort of filming people coming on and off the ship. Most cruise lines don't do that anymore, but I was maybe 15 and it was playing in the atrium and I filmed it, and it's so cute because I come up, that's why I'm filming it. I'm like, it's me. I'm in the video of the cruise. I don't know if anyone remembers that. You used to be able to buy like a video of the cruise before you could just, you know, make your own video of the cruise. Are you close to Captain Hudson packing cubes? Ish. Ish. It is down the priority list behind Captain Hudson, the actual Captain Hudson, but on their way to me, yes. So at some point, yes. Tracy says, please hit the like button. Yes, please. If you could do that, that would be lovely. It just sort of gives YouTube a little prod, a poke, and tells it, like, I like this. Please follow me around. Because YouTube is not going to tell you when I have a new video out. It does tell some people, of course, but it doesn't tell everybody. So please make sure, just before this live stream, I sent my weekly newsletter that has latest videos in it, posts when the live stream is. So please make sure I have your email address. Pretty please. emmacruises.com/news, and put in your email there. That would be much appreciated. You can still buy a trip video from Ambassador. That is so cute, and that is perfect for Ambassador. That is so cute. I've not cruised with Ambassador apart from the day that I spent on board when I was supposed to go on a cruise and it was cancelled while I was at dinner. So I'm still waiting to add that to my cruise globe and my cruise album that I have here. You can see here, this holds 25 cruises, and I don't think I want to miss that one. Some people are saying I shouldn't count it because the cruise was cancelled while I was at dinner and we went nowhere. We went London Tilbury to London Tilbury. We never set sail, and there was a problem with one of the lifeboats. And yeah, interesting. Interesting Norwegian cruise lines in the chat. I just did the podcast with Kabir, my friend, apparently my husband, and he asked me my favorite cruise ship, and I said Norwegian Spirit, my first cruise ship. Oh, when you did your Costa Smeralda cruise, were there theme nights or were they well attended? Should I pack for themes? So, Costa, the themes and the parties on Costa, I don't know what time they start, but I would go to bed and then twice I got up again and went out and went to the theme party, and everyone was there. Everyone was there. And then I'd come back and go to bed again. Like they were that late. I would go at 2 a.m. and there would be all these kids there, like on their parents' shoulders, just having a great time. I don't know when people slept on that cruise. But yes, I think pretty well attended. I don't remember doing any of the themes on that cruise, but yes, Costa cruises are just, everyone's just having fun, right? Yes. I did dress up for the 70s theme on my Uniworld river cruise, very luxurious river cruise I did recently. And what I loved about that is they have a channel on the TV in the cabin called Lounge Cam. And it's the dance floor. So I could see like, oh, are other people there? We were actually the first ones who arrived in fancy dress there. So that was scary for a few seconds. But that was really good. I could see how late people were just on the camera. Yeah, interesting. But also a river cruise, so much, much smaller. What I liked about that from Uniworld, though, was that they emailed me and said, your cruise is going to have a 70s night, like 2 months in advance. Fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you so much to the moderators who look after this chat. I really, really appreciate it. You've been in here for years looking after it, and I would not do it without you. Is there a story about handing out ice cream to make space? Is it true? And have you ever been handed a spooky ice cream? So this is I don't know. I would say it's an old wives' tale that if a cruise ship has more people die on board than it has space for, they'll start putting them in the freezer and then hand out ice cream. I've never had that happen. I've never had that confirmed that that does happen. It does make sense, I guess. They have space. But yeah, I think that's one of those things that articles will be shared. There's so many articles that even use my pictures, and it says 17 terrible things about cruises, and they're really weird. Like the one I'm in, I have tried for a long time to get my picture off of it, but no one can trace this company. And it says like shocking things about cruises. Number one, people die on cruises. Like that's so weird to me that that is shocking. Wouldn't it be more shocking if no one died on a cruise? Like if by going on a cruise, everyone became invincible. Like if you put 6,000 people together and you watch them for 2 weeks, like statistics, right? Yeah, don't know. Oh, what is your favorite Captain Hudson? It's hard. It's tricky. So we have the original one here. You can see that. He just has his little scarf thing on, says Emma Cruises on it. We have got version 2 here, which has the life jacket that has a cookie in it. Very cute. We have Formal Night Hudson. We have the sort of beachy Hudson in this Hawaiian shirt. And then this one is the version 5, which is his actual uniform, which I think is cool. I think perhaps the one in the uniform is my favorite. It's the most I don't know. He just looks really handsome in it. But I love them all, of course. I love them all. Um. The ice cream thing was in a movie. Ah, I see. How are cruise lines when it comes to accessibility for wheelchairs? Are there any you would avoid based on this? Um, I don't. I can't think of any I would avoid. I guess if you're gonna avoid older ships, generally speaking, if you avoid ships that are built in the 80s, they're not always so accessible. They will try their best. But when I've cruised on older ships, sometimes there's just a step in the middle of the corridor for no reason because there just is. But any ship that is built in the last 20 years, they have to be accessible. They have accessible cabins. Yeah, I guess the most tricky thing is sometimes the lifts are very busy, the elevators are very busy, but depends on the cruise ship. But if you go on a cruise ship that's 10 years old, 15 years old, 5 years old, that is forefront of the mind. And it's not even just for people who are in wheelchairs. When you make a cruise ship or anything accessible, it helps everyone. If you have a door, like sometimes the bathroom doors will open with a button. Great, because that helps everyone who is carrying things, or if you have a child, or if you have a buggy, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's definitely some Britishisms around buggy and pram. Buggy is a pushchair. I think you'd call it a pushchair. We'd call that a buggy. Yeah. David says, do any of the profits from the Captain Hudson books also go to Mercy ships? No, they do not. They go to me so that I can keep donating 98% of the Captain Hudson money to Mercy ships, to be honest, because, yeah, if you look at the profit from a Captain Hudson, it's maybe $14. If you look from a book, I think I get £1. So, yeah. But yeah, if you do want to support me, because I really want to keep donating the money from Captain Hudson's, of course I do. But if you want to support me personally, the books are probably the best way to do that. Yes. Don't Americans call them strollers? Yeah, maybe stroller. What's a pushchair then? Is that another Britishism for us? I can't really tell the difference. Jack says, how are the books selling? They're selling very well, and we have another one coming out. Maybe it'll be out next week. So we have the Caribbean book. The Caribbean book, I think, is probably the best story that I like personally. And then we're also working on the coloring book. That'll be very cool. And we have a Christmas book that's going to come out before Christmas. So that'll be really, really fun. Do you do any non-cruise breaks? I do not anymore. I'm running a business. And since I started this business, I don't think so. Maybe, well, this business, when I say a business, was a hobby for about 5 years. So at some point in there, maybe, but I don't know. Since this has been my job, no, there's nothing else that I think I would be disappointed if I went to an all-inclusive or like I love running this business. This is my hobby, right? So why don't take it away? Don't take it away from me. Yeah, a stroller. Yes. Pushchair might be called a wheelchair. No, pushchair is like a buggy stroller for kids. Have you ever been on a Halloween-themed cruise? I was on Independence of the Seas, I think over Halloween, or just before or just after Halloween, because I remember all of the Halloween decorations. I remember them. They have the cars in the street. They had skeletons in them, that kind of stuff. I don't remember if it was actually on Halloween. I think maybe we got off just before, but I saw the decorations, so that was cool. Are you more inclined to go on river cruises? More inclined than what? I'm more inclined to go on a river cruise than not go on one. But I like river and ocean. If I had to give up, never go on a river cruise again or never go on an ocean cruise again, I would give up river cruising because there's far more ocean cruises. But I like them both the same. They're just very, very different. There's really no sort of crossover there. Did kids seem welcome on Yacht Club in MSC? I only saw 3 kids, I think, on my Yacht Club cruise. They are welcome there, though. I have known children who have gone in Yacht Club who really like it. But yeah, there's just probably the kids that were staying in Yacht Club. They were in the kids club. They were with the Lego or the basketball court or the slides or the bowling. They're not really just sat in the lounge. So there could have been more that I didn't know about, but I only knew those ones were there because I saw them while I was at dinner, that kind of thing. How can I get a map for a cruise before 2015? You could draw one yourself. So this is referring to these maps. I'm co-founder, part owner of this business, and we have all the data from 2015. Before that, cruise ships didn't drop off the data. We don't have it. It doesn't exist. And even if you think about it, I think it's interesting because not that long ago, no one would have this data, as in regular people. NASA, maybe, but not regular people. But yeah, at the moment, we don't have anything pre-2015. We're looking into it. We're going to come up with something, but it will probably be, there's no way to know what it actually was. So it might be the ones pre-2015 are more of a sort of educated guess based on where that cruise goes. And then ones after that are the exact cruise, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. Savage. I was just giving a fair, you could. It would be terrible, but you could. Or maybe it would be great. I don't know. Maybe it would be great. Do you like doing official shore excursions or going off on your own? So there's certain places where I think a shore excursion is worth it. If you are going somewhere where it is difficult to do things by yourself, then absolutely. If I've gone a really long way, if there's something I really want to see and I don't want to miss out on it, easy peasy, do it. It costs more, but you're paying for it being easier, right? If it is somewhere where, I can just do it myself, then I will just do it myself. Sometimes cruise excursions are sort of like you're in a group of 40, you're following someone with a flag, and yeah, I don't really find that fun because I want to wander off, right? If I see something, I'm like, oh, I'll go over there. But yeah, sometimes they're good. Sometimes I'll just do it by myself. Yeah, the ship's position data is rare and not made public previous to 2015. Yes. Yeah, if you do, very good point here from Sana. Adult-only cruises, or if you do an adult-only ship like P&O or Marella have, or if you do a long cruise during school holiday, during the school year when kids are at school, you rarely have any. Yeah, I've definitely been on cruises where there were 5 kids or less out of 5,000. If you do some that are, repositioning cruises, if you do ones that are, you go in, when are there no school holidays? March. Yeah, most kids are at school. Did it in fact change your opinion on cruising to be in Yacht Club? Are you okay with any cabin now? This was the most common thing that I had before I went in Yacht Club. People said, you will never do anything else. I have already been back in the cheapest inside cabin since then. And, it's nice. It was lovely. If you have the money, do it. But also, I'm still going to do the inside cabins always. My most recent cruise that I did in a guaranteed inside cabin was to Bruges and Cherbourg, which they're industrial ports. They're miles away from the place. It gets dark. The sun sets here at 4:30. Now, there's nothing to see, right? So there's no point upgrading. But Yacht Club, that's very different. We did a lovely Norwegian fjord cruise, had sail-ins and sail-outs. And yeah, for that, it was nice. But it is what it is. Now I have more knowledge. Based on who speaks to me, I can say a bit better, which is good. Yes. Yeah, thank you to my mum who was sharing a link to some adult-only cruises I took. Yes. I do have 700, I think, articles on that website. So if you do have a question and you just go there, type in the cruise line, I probably have written something about it at some point. Oh, Tim says going on our first Sky Princess cruise on Saturday. Wish us luck. Amazing. I went on Sky Princess with my dad. We did a British Isles cruise and I was sunbathing and swimming when we were in Glasgow. Who would have thought it? I wasn't expecting it. It was really good. Is half four 3:30 or 4:30? 4:30. Half four is half past four. I believe in Germany it's the other way, so it'd be 3:30. But in England, half four is 4:30. That is a big cup. I get this comment every single time, but I have this cup because it cools down the tea really nicely, and also because my mum got it for me. There's some strange comments in here. I really appreciate you, moderators. Thank you so much for looking after it. So this week I did release the last video from my MSC Yacht Club cruise. I don't know how to disclose in speaking, but that last cruise was a press trip. Hopefully that's obvious. My first 7 MSC cruises I did, I paid for myself. I had the cheapest cabin, and I had a good cruise on all of them. But it was really nice to get to see. I always want to say how the other half live, but it's not the other half. It's 5% of the ship that I was on was in Yacht Club. So yeah, that last video is out now. That's my cabin tour. Very different from my normal inside cabin. But I feel like I could stay there for months. I love inside cabin, but I wouldn't want to stay in an inside cabin for more than a couple of weeks, at least. Oh, Ken Goes Cruising says, what cruise line do you think does the best Christmas decorations? We're going on Queen Victoria in December. You're in luck because absolutely Cunard. I've never seen any cruise line do it like Cunard. I think P&O do a pretty good job as well. I cruised on Ventura over Christmas, and that was good. But Cunard, I think they go all out on that. Cheers to Gainer for a fantastic cup. Cheers. Jane says, more cruise port information from you would be fabulous as I value your honesty and opinions. Yeah, so cruise port stuff is what I normally keep on my website because people on YouTube aren't interested in it, which makes sense. Because if someone has clicked on a video for a cruise ship, they might be going on that cruise ship in Alaska. And if they all of a sudden see me explain Spain, it doesn't make any sense, right? So the port stuff I keep on my website. If you wanted to look for, Barcelona, I have guides there, what I do there, how I get on the hop on, hop off bus, how far it is from the port. That kind of stuff is more on my website. And also, I'm really bad at remembering this stuff. And I sort of treat the ports, for me, that's my time of not working, I guess. Because, yeah, this is how it is. Do you track which cruise lines you have done and which places you have been? I do, yes. I've always had just a very simple Google sheet with all my cruises in it, but I am working on adding all of that to my cruise globe, which is very exciting, and also into this album, although I'm going to need 3 of these albums. But then I will physically be able to let someone else look through, which will be very cool. Very, very cool. Did you ever look at going into an Arosa River cruise? So I went to a river cruise conference many years ago, pre-pandemic, and I stayed on a Rosa River cruise just for the conference. So I have eaten in the buffet. I think the buffet was really nice, and I have been on the ship, but I saw a lot of ships. When you go to a river cruise conference, you get woken up and it's like, right, we're going on a tour of the ships, and you get to walk around 6 different ships. And then whenever you go on the ship, they're trying to tell you why this is the best ship, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I would absolutely cruise with them. Yeah, I've only heard good things. They seem nice for sure. What are the cookies like on Sky Princess? Good. Princess are pretty good with their cookies. Yeah. Cruising Charlie says, how was the vibe on MSC? I've been on 2 cruises with MSC and the service has felt subpar. However, our cabin steward and main dining room waiter were excellent. The vibes have always been good. I have cruised with MSC 8 times now. Hopefully that shows something. I've taken my friends on their first cruise on MSC, and as far as subpar, I mean, it depends what you want, right? If you're comparing to an American cruise line, a Norwegian, a Carnival, Carnival, the waiters will dance on the table. MSC, they won't. If you're measuring that on a scale of how was the waiters dancing, then obviously it's subpar. But for me, I'm not interested. I don't need the waiter to ask me, how was your day? Where did you go? Like, I just want to eat. If I could order through an app, then that would be great. So yeah, Yeah, it was good. The vibes were good. The vibes were very, very nice. Being able to go into those doors that I've never went through before. I have never been to Perfect Day. No, I have not. I have not. I have not. I've been to the Caribbean quite a lot. I've done Southern Caribbean. I've done Eastern. I've done Western. I've done Bahamas. Um, yeah. Do cruise lines have loyalty programs like hotel chains? Have you ever been upgraded? Pretty much every cruise line has some sort of loyalty program. It doesn't really work in the same way though. Like with hotels, I think it does make you more likely to get upgraded, right? But I don't think that's really in any cruise line's criteria for upgrades that I know of, anyway. It certainly has not reflected in the cruises I've taken, the upgrades I've had. I have booked the cheapest inside cabin on the cruise lines where I have the highest loyalty status. It didn't bump me up. I'm still there. But yeah, they do. Normally, the perks are things like free laundry, free specialty meal, maybe priority embarkation, that kind of thing. That's a bit more, yeah, a bit more valuable on a cruise, I think, really. Yeah, Sana says, depends on what you mean, cheapest or possibly best value for money. Yes, for me, P&O is excellent value, but a little more. Carnival offers more inclusive food. Yeah, exactly. It's so hard. It's really hard. I was the other day trying to explain to someone, they said, oh, is this worth it? And I'm like, well, is right now you getting spaghetti worth it? Do you want spaghetti? Do you have the money for spaghetti? What is the time? Are you allergic to spaghetti? Like, there's so many other questions for everything, right? So it's hard. Excuse me while I just get rid of some people from the comments. Right, all good, all good. Do you have tips for a first-time cruiser? I have literally thousands, literally thousands. I do have a email series that will email you every 3 days, and that has different tips in chronological order. So it will start with, these are the different cruise lines for different things. This is where they go. This is where cruises go. This is how to book them, where to book them, when to book them, what you're going to have to pay for, what you can pay for on board. What about seasickness and health and ports and excursions and everything. I can't even list the tips, let alone say the actual tips, but I do have that. So if you go to my website, emmacruises.com, put in your email address on any post, and then it'll email you every 3 days. And that's everything that I think you need to know about cruises. Of course, you don't need to know all that stuff to go on a cruise. You can go on a cruise knowing none of it. But you just might get a nasty surprise when you get a bill for something that you didn't realize. Yeah. So interesting to see the comments. I had so many comments on my MSC content saying, "Oh, Emma's doing a Trek Trendy," and I would love for Will from Trek Trendy to do an Emma style video where he stays in a P&O inside cabin. It would be so funny, so funny. How do you manage to enjoy your cruises for cruise and also do the filming and other stuff with YouTube? So I enjoy that more than not doing it, I guess. I was doing it anyway, but the difference was, I would go on a cruise. My first cruise that I took as an adult by myself, I took a Norwegian cruise, Norwegian Getaway in the Caribbean. I had already been on Norwegian Breakaway. So I come back and I say to my friends, can you believe the difference between this and this? And my friends say, I don't care. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I started writing it down on the internet because I want to share this stuff. It's tricky to run a business. I have a lot of different things in my business. It's tricky to do that while traveling, but I would be doing that at home. I would much prefer to do it. My office is a cruise ship. I used to have a view of a car park. Now I have some amazing views, right? So yeah, it is my hobby. So there's that. Freddie says, is the Wi-Fi free on board? Generally, no. Most cruise lines don't have free Wi-Fi. You can buy it. Some do, like Virgin, but it's not the norm. The norm is that you pay for Wi-Fi on cruises. If I wasn't running a business, I would not pay for the Wi-Fi on cruises. I would love having a day without internet access. That sounds amazing. I did try and do that once since running this business, but when I got on the tender and I started to get 4G, my website was down, my travel agents couldn't book cruises, everything had gone wrong. Someone needs postage for this, or yeah, it doesn't work for me anymore. But I think that's lovely. I think that's really lovely. What did you do before becoming a cruise reviewer? I worked in data development. So I was a coder. I did SAS coding and basically made all data look the same. So I'd be formatting stuff so that finance or actuarial or different teams would have the reports that they needed for this big company. So basically what I used to do is help people who had a lot of money get more money. And now I'm glad I don't do that. I do always get the comments that say, get a real job. And I'm like, this is so much more real, right? Than helping a company that owns 65 car insurance buy a 66. Like, yeah, but it was fine. It was a 9 to 5 office job. I had an hour for lunch. I would always spend that doing cruise stuff. Of course, I would. And it paid me enough that I could save up and go on a cruise a year. That was my life. So, yeah, SAS coding or sassy coding. My code was, we could have called it sassy because it wasn't so great. It was never my passion. Matthew says a discussion on MSC cruises on a stream sponsored by Marella with Norwegian in the chat. This is a comprehensive stream. It is. I aim to get as much knowledge into my brain as possible so that I can tell you things, right? I think it's so good that now I know what MSC's Yacht Club's like so that if someone asks me, I have experience of insides. Well, I've done 8 MSC cruises. I did 7 on the Bella cheapest level. 7 and then 1 on Yacht Club. But still, the more information I can get in my brain, the absolute better. And when Marella says, we have a good discount, can you tell people? I say, absolutely. I'm all about that discount. There's not really any cruise lines apart from Marella. Is it over here? Tell me, is it here? Because it's here for me. But there's not really any cruise lines other than Marella that work on a, it's like buying something on the internet. You have a discount code and you buy it on the internet. Like, it doesn't work with travel agents. It's more expensive to use a travel agent. Only with Marella. No other cruise line. Every other cruise line, apart from TUI and Marella, I recommend using a travel agent. But yes. Oh, I really like your videos. I can't always make the lives, but your videos have been my favorite. Oh, thank you. My left. This is my left hand. Do you mean this one? Maybe. Do you say that the data are or the data is? This is an interesting one, right? Because I would always say, in the UK, I would say, oh, the data is boring. But I would say Marella Cruises are sponsoring this live stream or Norwegian are in the chat. And that's a British thing, I think. I think we think of companies as like a person, right? In the UK. And in America, you don't do that. You would say Marella is in the chat. But to me, that sounds weird. There's so many little things like that. So many little things like that. Ooh, can you rank or rate the Marella ships in order of which is your favorite, says Jamie. Now, this is tricky because I have been on 4 ships. 2 of them are the same and 2 of them are the same. So this is basically Explorer and Explorer 2. They're not always that inventive with the names. Explorer and Explorer 2 versus Discovery and Discovery 2. And I think I would pick Discovery and Discovery 2. They're the ones that came from Royal Caribbean. The other ones came from Celebrity. They do have a new ship, but I've not been on that one yet. I think I would pick Discovery, though, because it has a lovely atrium. You know how the cruise ships used to have big open atriums? They used to do acrobatics there. They don't anymore. And the big theatre where I did my first charity head shave on the stage there. So that's a special cruise for me. Won't be forgetting that one. That was a Baltic cruise on Marella Discovery. Yeah, long time ago, 2018, I think that was, 2018. Yeah, sports is different in the UK and US. Yes, sports. Sport, there's quite a few plurals like that. I think like maths and math. We would always say maths, not math. Obviously, you know, holiday, vacation, that kind of thing. Do all the Marella ships have that shiny blue wall? The shiny blue wall is not a fixed wall. It's like a pop-up wall. So I think so. I think so. I did 2 90s themed cruises with Marella. I hope they're going to announce more because they were really fun. And they would have all kinds of 90s pop-ups. And, you know, in the lifts, they'd have all the 90s stuff on it. It was awesome. The Baltic was after the hair donation. It was the second to last day that I shaved my head. So the whole cruise, obviously, I was very nervous about shaving my head. But I only had one port before coming home, which was Ghent. So it was Bruges, Zeebrugge. And I had a hat on. Like, I didn't let anyone see my little fluffy head. I was too self-conscious at that point. Ooh, good point. Discovery is the small Vision class Royal Caribbean ships. Preferred Explorer, as it's a celebrity ship and has a decent bathroom and shower. Hmm. Shower cabinet rather than a curtain. I don't remember the bathrooms. Gotta be honest. They were both fine. The only bathrooms I remember are ones that are particularly lovely or are wrong, too small or broken in some way. If they're just, I don't remember it, then it's just in the middle, of course. Yeah. Oh, I like the buzz cut for you, Emma. It works. Thank you. Look like a kiwi. I did feel like a kiwi, yes. And I just think, I mean, we raised the first time I did it £5,000, which seemed mind blowing to raise £5,000. The second time we did it live on my YouTube channel, we raised £45,000, $45,000 maybe. I think we were doing it in dollars, which is so mind blowing. But now we've raised 104,000, and from version 5, it's probably going to be another 25,000, maybe. So I much prefer you guys buying these rather than me having to shave my head, because it doesn't affect me when I'm out and about and stuff. And having a shaved head, yeah, it affects a lot of things. It takes a very long time to grow your hair back too. Yeah. What are your favorite brands of cookies? Any plans on doing your own brand? I would. I don't know where I would begin with doing my own brand. My favorite cookie. This is you're not gonna unless you're from the UK and you know what Sainsbury's is. You're probably not gonna get this, but we have a supermarket called Sainsbury's, and they have shortbread cookies. So they're square. They've got sugar on them. They're shortbread. And they have chocolate chunks, like real big chocolate chunks in it. Lovely. Good question. What does the MSC ship fragrance smell like? I feel like I need to do perfume adverts. It's always like a horse running across a beach. It doesn't tell you anything about what it smells like. Um, it smells like nice wood to me, which is weird because the ship has not got any wood in it really. It's all shiny, but it smells nice. It's in my bathroom now, so it smells like bathroom. Is today Friday? No, today is not Friday. Please continue going to work tomorrow if you normally work Fridays. Yeah. Yeah, shortbread with chocolate chunks sounds delicious. They're so good. They've just made them smaller, which probably is a good thing, but they're so good. I would definitely call them cookies. Yeah, definitely. They're too big to be a biscuit in the definition. If they were small, maybe they could be biscuits, but they're too big. They're too big for that. Yeah, yeah. I love how I'm recommending cookies here. As far as cruise lines go, though, Celebrity, I think, probably have some of the best cookies. Some cruise lines have what I like. I don't know if we count them as cookies, like an iced biscuit, right? P&O had some very good Christmas iced biscuits. They were really nice. Never heard of Marella. Are they a river cruise line? So they are a ocean cruise line. They're a British ocean cruise line, and they're all inclusive, but on the budget side, which is a very weird thing to say because normally all inclusive is the very luxurious, expensive cruise. Marella are not that. They're the sort of they have one adult only ship. Is it one? Maybe one, but sort of younger families, easy accessible cruise, but it includes drinks, it includes gratuities, it includes flights, and it includes transfers. So when you book it, that's it. You don't pay anything else for anything else, which is nice. I don't like surprises on my bill. I don't want to pay anything else. Just tell me how much it'll cost and I'll pay it. But that's it, right? Then I just want to be done. Yeah, so Marella are the ocean side and then Tui are the riverside. And I've done both. And if you like one, you'll like the other. They're almost exactly the same. But yeah, check out the link. I wrote this little guide in the description. Check that out. Where is your cat? He was just last time I saw him, he was just chilling inside somewhere. So yeah, he's all right. He's okay. Yeah. He doesn't attend if he doesn't want to. He's a cat after all. He's a cat. I have to shut the door to this room because otherwise the dog will come in and he'll just cause chaos and he'll try to eat Captain Hudson live on the live stream or eat one of my books or something. And that would be terrible. Yeah. How many cruises have you done? I'm on 71 cruises. If we can count, going on that river conference, can we count the cruise that was cancelled at dinner? My definition of a cruise is I got a cruise card and I unpacked. That's it. Doesn't matter if it's one night, doesn't matter if it's a new ship launch from a shipyard that no one can buy, doesn't matter. I'm counting that. I'm counting that. Danny says, is there a problem if my name for my reservation on my cruise is not complete? Depends what you mean by complete. If it's missing a middle name, doesn't matter. If it's missing your surname, yes. Is surname a Britishism or second name? We would say either first name, second name, or surname. I'm sure some things like that. Yeah. Reach out to the cruise line. If you have a travel agent, this is exactly the sort of thing that they can fix. Yes. Nice shirt. Where can I get it? You can get it on emmacruisesshop.com, which is the same place that you can get the Captain Hudson's now. So hopefully that is easy peasy. Is trick-or-treating a thing in the UK? Will you be getting any later? It is a thing, but generally it is, if someone has decorations, then go ahead. If not, then don't. So I don't have any decorations out, so I don't think anyone will knock on my door. If they do, Rolo will bark at the door and then they'll leave. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, last name in the US. Last name and surname. That's good. I said something about names the other day and someone didn't understand. Eddie's Big Adventure says, do you find it difficult reporting problems on the ship because of who you are? Not reporting things on the ship. It's not like people have a picture of me and know who I am. Although I never cruise by myself. So if I do have something like the toilet is broken, for example, I will send my brother or someone else to go and see, because yeah, just in case. I can't though go on a cruise and say, imagine if I'm in the middle of the cruise, I can't put on Facebook this thing because someone might send it to someone and fix it. And I don't want it to be fixed because someone saw my Facebook post. I want to know what would happen, right? So when I took a cruise recently with Azamara, we had a door issue, a very noisy door. And if I went on Facebook and I said, oh, my Azamara door, this and that, while I was on board, once I'm off the cruise, totally fine. But if I said that while I was on board, I wouldn't find out how it would actually get fixed. You know what I mean? And I'm not interested in that. So, yeah. Yeah, I never ever want to do a don't you know who I am. I don't want people to know who I am. If I could go back and take my face off my YouTube channel and you'd still watch it, if I could AI something, if Captain Hudson could just do the presentation, I would do that. I would do that, absolutely. Did you enjoy having a butler? I did. It's not something that I think I need. I don't feel like I need a butler because I don't need the things that butlers do. But I enjoyed it. And having one, I can find things. I asked them for cookies, for example, and they made cookies. So, and that was good. But I don't need them to, unpack my suitcase or things like that. And I'm quite good, I'm quite used to booking my own shows, booking my own meals. If you were someone who's not, though, I imagine, if you were a bit older and you didn't want to be unpacking your suitcase, brilliant, lovely, go ahead. But yeah, for me, the perks were not necessarily about the butler. It was more about the lounge, more about the pool deck. That was lovely. The food up there, that kind of thing. Do you ever want to own a boat? Not an ocean liner or a yacht, but a yacht. No. If I had all the money in the world, I would never buy a yacht. I have no interest in that. Also, if I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't even buy a better car. I don't care. Like, I don't care at all. Do cruise lines give discounts to groups, says John? Yes, they do. Normally, that's something that a travel agent would do and they'd have access to, and they would know how to do that. But yeah, I work with travel agents in the UK and ones in the US, and quite often, particularly on the US side, we will buy a group so that we have those prices, and then it's like locked in. Yeah. Does MSC allow their butlers to socialize? I mean, they're allowed to talk to you about things. They always ask you how your day's going. You can't invite them, do you want to come bowling? That kind of thing, because they have other work to do, which fair enough. And if I think they're not really there to go bowling with you anyway, if that makes sense. Does the additional cost ever bother you after you pay for the cruise? I find it hard to enjoy when I have to worry about additional excursions, costs, tips, fancy dining, etc. So for me, I will just pay, if a cruise line does auto gratuities, I'll just pay them up front. So I've paid that out, done. I don't normally spend money on excursions, so that's fine. I don't normally spend money on specialty dining. If I have booked as part of a promotion, if you take a Norwegian cruise, for example, it doesn't make sense not to book with the promotion. So you do end up with specialty dining, and I love it. It's great. And sometimes for my loyalty status, I have specialty dining, and it's great. But it's not something I would pay for. So I am not expecting to pay for it. The thing I pay for is drinks. I pay for Wi-Fi, just, that's so I can work. And occasionally, like, bus transfers in a place or entry to a museum or something like that. That's what I'm expecting. But I'm still spending, if I'm buying a couple of Pepsi Maxes a day and going to an aquarium, it's probably less money than I would spend just going and buying cat food and stuff at home. So, yeah, it's not too bad. I have come back from cruises with £0 on board spent before. So that's always nice. Norwegian Cruise Line says, you get more at sea. Sorry, couldn't resist. I felt like I might summon Norwegian Cruise Line by saying that. But yes, I do. The Cagney's 7-layer chocolate cake. Yum. Is the muster draw experience still chaotic on MSC, or have they changed it? It was the completely electronic muster drill when I did it on my most recent MSC cruise. I think it was the same when I did it on World Europa. That was my one I did before this. And maybe the one before that was the sort of old style. But I don't remember. When I recently did a cruise on Cunard, we had the old style muster drill, which was a surprise. Everyone sat there for 20 minutes. But apparently they have to do that once every 6 months. So we just got unlucky. But yeah, on MSC, it was watch this on the TV. And then we had to go to the place just to scan in, that kind of thing. What is the most inappropriate sponsor offer you've had? I have so many weird sponsor offers. I basically have no interest in being sponsored by anything that I don't know what it is. If it comes in and I'm like, I've never heard, I don't use that, then I'm not interested. Unless it's something that I have done myself, when MSC came to me, I've done 7 MSC cruises before. I know the deal. When I've worked with Norwegian, hello Norwegian, I have done so many Norwegian cruises since I was 11. So I'm confident, right? I have to already know what that thing is. If there's a new cruise line that pops up, that's not gonna work. But I get things all the time. They'll be like, Emma, based on your cruise YouTube channel, we think you would like bike inner tubes. Do you? Why do you think that? I mean, I went on a bike cruise once. I went on a cycling cruise. But yeah, generally they're just really, really not, they just haven't read, right? They just emailed to everyone on YouTube, which is quite a lot. That is one reason people have managers and stuff like that, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to promote NordVPN. I'm sorry. I don't use NordVPN. Anyway, Bill says, have you ever been invited to join a Mercy ship trip? I have, and I am, and I'm in the process of getting a lot of vaccines because it is not as easy to travel to Sierra Leone as it is other places. But yes. I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like, but it's going to be amazing. And also, I don't know if you remember, but last time we sold these Captain Hudsons for Mercy ships, we had the option to send some to the ship, and they're there. So we're going to be able to give them to the kids who are having surgery, which, yeah, I'm going to cry. I'm already going to cry. But yeah. Have you tried the cinnamon Coke yet? No, that sounds horrible. I don't like cinnamon, really. If it's a little bit and you can't really taste it, then fine. But in Coke, that sounds horrible. That just reminds me of the cinnamon challenge. Ugh, my goodness. I see people chatting with my mum in the chat. Thanks so much to my mum and my dad. Maybe my brother who watched these live streams sometimes. I've never been to New Zealand. No, I've never been to Australia. I've never been to New Zealand. I would love to. I think it's just a tricky thing to do while I'm running this business. I need a lot of time. We are booking a cruise this afternoon with my US travel agent team. That sounds amazing. I've learned so much about booking cruises through them. Andy says, you said you book cruises through a travel agent. Any reason why? So it is always the same price to book through a travel agent, and they help you for free. You know, pretty much every cruise I book now is one where my travel agent sees it and they're like, this is so Emma, this deal is going to last for 3 seconds. Let's send it to her, right? I wasn't looking for a Uniworld River cruise when I found one when my travel agent found one in the 50% off Christmas sale. But they send me ideas and they can just sort things out for me. Why would I want to phone P&O Cruises, for example, to try and change my dining time or get a table for 8 when I can just ask my travel agent to do that? Why would I not want someone else to do things for me for free? That's what I think. Yeah, discounts, absolutely discounts, of course. Sometimes they have, as we mentioned earlier, access to sort of group rates or onboard credit. I will take anything, chocolate strawberries, any of that kind of stuff. Do you prefer Christmas on land or at sea? I think I would always prefer Christmas at sea. It's not always possible to go to sea for Christmas. It's normally more expensive because it's Christmas, right? But you don't have to think about anything. The cruise is your presents. You don't really have to buy anyone presents if you go with your family. My family, anyway. I'll probably get some Christmas pajamas. That's normally what we'll do. But you don't have to plan anything. You don't have to think about getting the right vegetables. You don't have to cook anything. You don't have to wash up. You don't have to make sure everyone's happy because everyone makes sure that they're happy themselves, right? So that's always good. And I like, they'll put on Christmas shows, maybe Christmas karaoke, Christmas trivia, that kind of thing. It's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know travel agents who would send gift baskets to their client's room or cabin. Yeah, it is my US travel agent Dan who is sending out. If you've got a Captain Hudson in Canada or the US, he's the one posting them all from his office. So, bless him, so helpful. Yeah, a travel agent is like a type of butler. I guess so. Yes, I guess so. Ooh, taking an 11-day cruise on NCL Prima. Booked with my US agents. Thank you very much. Where should we eat our first meal? This is not the most, I don't know, probably not the answer that everyone else would give, but I would be going to Indulge Food Hall. I love that place. It was amazing. It's basically like, I don't know, how do you describe it? Like a food hall, but you sit and you order on a little screen and then it's made and it's brought to you. You don't have to, you don't have to oh, it's just so good. That's where I would go. Personally, it's interesting because a lot of cruise lines have done the food court thing, and if it's done well, like with Norwegian, fabulous. If it's not done well, no one knows where to queue up. Everyone's just waiting for some chips. It's worse, I think. I would rate a very good Indulge Food Hall, Norwegian Cruise Line, very good food hall, regular buffet, and then bad food hall in my order. Yeah. Ooh. Which season would you prefer for a cruise from Singapore to Japan? I would probably avoid July, August, and September. Very, very humid, very hot, very hard to think about anything else other than I just want to burn these clothes. So any other time, any other time. Ooh, there we go. Norwegian Cruise Line, back me up. Okay, that feels good then. The human behind this account just did an 11-day Prima cruise, and we ate at Indulge first. There you go. There we go. I like how it says the human behind this account. It makes it sound like Norwegian Cruise Line's page is like forced to say this by a human. It's quite funny. Your cup looks like it would be the perfect cinnamon receptacle. Maybe you could like roll a donut in it. I guess if you had a donut and some cinnamon. Yeah. Oh, good question. I'm super confused about drinks on a cruise when on a budget. Without a drinks package, how would you get water outside of meals? Is it expensive? Do people just buy bottled water on land? So basically, you are in a normal bar, a normal pub, and you get a drink the same way that you would. You say, "Can I have this?" And then instead of paying with money, you give them your cruise card and it just goes on your bill, right? So if you don't have a drinks package, you're just buying things normal way. You can get water anywhere though. If you just want tap water, normal tap water, totally fine, no problem. Bottled water though, you have to buy it, but you can buy it from any bar on board. It's super easy. Normally I'll just buy, oh, can I have a Coke Zero? Okay, here's a can of Coke Zero. There's my cruise card. That's it. They tap it, tap, 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 and then done. But yeah, easy peasy, easy. I understand why this is so confusing though, because most cruise lines make it sound like drinks packages are the only way, or you're not going to have a drink. But yeah, outside of meals, I mean, I would go to the buffet. You could go to any bar. You can drink the water in your cabin in the tap. I always do. It has to be clean. So yes. Um, 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 what essential meds do you always travel with? Imodium, etc. I travel with medicines for every medical problem I've ever had in my entire life and ones I've just heard about and never had. I think I pack so light for everything apart from medicine because it's not worth it. I before I cruised a lot, I took a trip to Crete and I had the worst cold and I couldn't find any cold and flu medicine anywhere and my nose was bleeding and it was really miserable. And since then, I pack medicines for everything. They do sell medicines on board. They normally have a shop where you can buy, if you need paracetamol or something, but it's cheaper to just bring it with you. And they have a medical center, of course, but if you want to see a proper doctor, you're going to pay like a consultation fee and that kind of stuff. So thank you to my mum for sharing the link to that. That is appreciated. Yes, yes, yes. Pizza tonight. Is it a Friday treat or a live stream treat? I'm not having a pizza today. My schedule was all gone a bit weird. But I have had one recently, so don't worry. Don't worry. Jamie says, I'm now suspicious that NCO is staffed by robots. I don't want that to be my legacy. That this is the rumor that I started. There are people there. I've met people who work for Norwegian. They are lovely and they're human. They looked human. They looked human. How do you financially do all these cruises? Are you a secret billionaire? I wish I was a secret billionaire. I did see a video the other day and it had a picture of me with like a Lamborghini. I was like, please tell me where that is. I'd love to. But I'm running a business, and if you look at my expenses as a business, it's not that much. It's cruises pretty much. So, my last cruise last month, I went on Cunard's Queen Anne. My expenses for the month as a business, that's £400, right? So yeah, I pay for pretty much all my cruises. There's a couple, I was recently in Yacht Club. I didn't pay for that. You'll see paid promotion on it. You'll see ad on all the content that I put on all my social media accounts. But if you don't see that, then I've paid normal full price for the cruise. And I don't spend as much money as you think, actually. Yeah. She wants to be a secret billionaire, but wouldn't even buy a better car. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't spend money on anything apart from cruises, really. No, yeah, it's just not interesting to me. I just think of things, there's things around the house that have been broken for 6 years, and I'm like, I could fix it, but that's a week on a Costa Cruise for that, so then I don't do it. But yeah, I do normally cruise on a budget. How far in advance will you book a cruise? If there's a good deal, I could go up to maybe a year. I probably wouldn't do more than that. More just because I'm running, I got other things to do running a business. It's not the same as when I had a normal job and I had to request time off and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Will from Trek Trendy is in here. We were talking about you and how my latest video was the closest I have got to making a Trek Trendy style video. And Will says, what do you think to the new Disney cruise with the Singapore home port? That sounds like the way to do a Disney cruise to me. Singapore is booming as far as cruising goes, and it's one of my favorite places to cruise from. I've cruised from it twice, and I will cruise from it any day. If anyone wants to offer any day, I'll go. Absolutely love Singapore. I think it is fantastic. So yes, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Very different from my Disney cruise I did that went nowhere, from London Tilbury. Singapore, London Tilbury. When I say London Tilbury, it's not London. Our cruise there, when I did one with Ambassador, got cancelled from London Tilbury. And people were like, well, what am I supposed to do? I've booked the next cruise. You're cancelling it for 3 days. I'll just stay in London. I'm like, you want to go to London then? Because this is not London. London Tilbury. How do I find out what outlets are in my cabin on your webpage? If you go to emmacruises.com, type in plug or sockets or something like that. I put together all the ones that I have knowledge on in a big table. So you just type in your cruise line and you type in the ship and it should come up. And that is the result of me looking at YouTube videos, looking at pictures. That took me a very, very long time. But what I have on there is the minimum. So you might have more, but you will at least have what that says. Yeah. At Trek Trendy, Emma wants you to do a cheapest inside cabin video and collab. I would love that. I would like to be in, Will was in his Disney funnel funnel in the funnel. And yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, thank you to my dad who's in here sharing the link. Thank you very much. Just both my parents like working away for the live stream. Oh my goodness, it is almost the end of the live stream. This hour goes so fast, and I genuinely hadn't noticed until I saw this from Carol, who says another great stream. Thank you very much, Carol. Thank you to Marella for sponsoring this live stream. You can check out the link down below. I have a link on how to find the discount, so please check that out. Don't book a Marella cruise without a discount. There's always discounts somewhere. Yes, so I'm not going to be here next week. I will send you an email with when my next live stream is, but I'm going to be somewhere very exciting, and I cannot wait to tell you all about it. You're going to be like, yes, finally. All right. Aw, thanks for a great hour in your company. Thanks for your company too. I appreciate it. All right. I will see you all soon. Goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Finish my tea now.